Good evening, sir.
Tell me, my good man, is your carriage for rent? I find that I have to leave town in somewhat of a hurry.
Oh, no, I could never do that.
No time for haggling, sir.
Well, all right.
Where are your horses?
Don't need none. This here's a horseless carriage.
Gentlemen, shall we begin the annual meeting of the leading stockholders of the Stillwater Bank?
Yes.
I know you'll be pleased, most pleased with our latest report.
Yes, come on, get on with it.
The future of our financial house, gentlemen, seems secure. Most secure indeed. Unless, of course, some bank robber should come along and clean us out.
That may not be as humorous as you think, Mr. Cooper. Are you aware of the fact that a notorious bank robber is right here in Stillwater at this very moment? A villain who was released from jail just 2 weeks ago?
You are referring, of course, to Bill Bankroll Bates, Mr. Anderson.
That is correct.
I'm certainly aware of his presence in town. It's my business to know such things. But I doubt that we need concern ourselves with him.
And why not?
Well, I feel that the scoundrel has no doubt learned his lesson.
A likely story.
And besides, Marshal Foreman is keeping a close eye on him. Gentlemen, the figures.
Afternoon, Marshal. Drink? Oh, thanks, Henry. Just want to check up on a few things.
Why don't you get off my back, Marshal? I did my time. You got no call to go sticking your face in every move I make.
The way I see it, Bates, a leopard doesn't change his spots. You stay in town, I'll stay on your back. Feel free to leave anytime.
Maybe I like it here.
Maybe you like that bank down the street, too.
No, that's no way to talk, Marshal, to a man that's trying to go straight.
Get your big feet off of me and quit making so much racket. You know, if you hadn't have been a gallivanting off someplace, why, like as not, you'd have got this bone a whole lot quicker. Here.
You trying to bribe my helper? Did he thank you?
Shoot, he said something or other. I couldn't quite make out what it was, though.
Reminds me, I didn't have much breakfast this morning.
You would have to ride in here and open up your big mouth. Now, look, you went and ruined old Bill Doolin's lunch.
Every time that dog so much as twitches, I get the blame. Besides, it ain't me this time. Well, he's not even looking at me.
Well, something sure as heck's got him upset.
Great day in the morning, what is it?
Maybe it's Judgment Day.
Sure don't sound like golden trumpets to me.
Why, it's one of them automobiles. I read about them someplace.
don't have to tell you good folk that this is an automobile. I know you've read about them, but this is the first one, the very first one in the Oklahoma Territory. Yes, it may be the first one, but it won't be the last. Why, in just a few years, you'll see hundreds of them. Believe me, folks, the day is not far off when everyone will own an automobile. And the horse, that'll just be a stuffed museum piece. Now, there's nothing I would like better than to debate the point with you, gentlemen. But shall we do it over a few drinks? Now, just step across the street and tell them that the drinks are on Morgan Mayberry.
Say, sir, this automobile's the most amazing thing I ever seen in my whole life. I'd admire to make your acquaintance.
Well, name's Ludlow Pratt.
I'm Slim
The
Pickens.
pleasure's mine.
Say, I'd like to get to knowing you a little bit better. I'd buy you a drink if you're interested.
Well, I must admit I am a bit thirsty.
Well, let's go.
Well, Marshal, Morgan Mayberry's the name.
Will Foreman, pleased to meet you.
Yes, this certainly is a lively little town you have here.
Oh, Chalk, this is Morgan Mayberry. He's the owner of the automobile.
Well, Deputy, it's always a pleasure to meet a guardian of justice.
That tin monster of yours just about gave my horse a nervous breakdown.
Well, I'm certainly sorry to hear that. But then we can't stand in the way of progress, can we, Deputy? And I'm sure you'll feel differently about the automobile when I've had my chauffeur take you for a little spin.
You mean you want to get me in that thing? Not on your life. Well, if my horse saw me bumping around on that, he wouldn't even let me on him again.
Yes, there's something about this place. I like it. You know, Marshal, this might be just the spot I'm looking for.
You're looking for a town?
That's right, Marshal. A progressive town. A town in which I can have faith and which has faith in me. A town in which I can set up a factory to manufacture the Prattmobile.
Prattmobile?
That's right, Marshal. Named after my faithful mechanic, Ludlow Pratt.
But an automobile factory? I can't understand that. I knew they were making a few of these horseless carriages back east for wealthy people, but this hardly seems a spot for an automobile factory.
Ah, but I've researched the matter carefully, Marshal. Now, just as the horse needs oats and hay, the automobile needs oil and petrol. Why, surely, Marshal, you must be aware of the fact that the Oklahoma Territory has the richest untapped reserves of petroleum in the world. Now, does that make it seem logical, Marshal?
Yes, but who's going to buy these automobiles? Certainly don't need a factory to manufacture a few of them for rich people.
Who's going to buy them, Marshal? Why, everybody will buy them. Oh, it'll take time, to be sure. But the time will come when you'll see factories hiring as many as 100 men just building cars.
Excuse my intrusion, sir, but I couldn't but help overhearing your words. I'm Augustus Cooper, president of the Bank of Stillwater, and my associate, Mr. Anderson.
How do you do? How do you do, gentlemen?
I must say I'm greatly impressed with your daring plans, and it's occurred to me that my institution could no doubt be of service.
Well, that's quite possible, sir.
Yes. Well, as a financier, I'm well aware that such an undertaking will no doubt require you to borrow at least a portion of the necessary capital.
And our interest rates are reasonable.
Most reasonable, provided, of course, you have suitable collateral.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cooper, but my plans do not require the borrowing of money.
They don't? But I presume you'll be selling stock in your venture, then?
No, Mr. Cooper. You see, I happen to be among the fortunates who are independently wealthy. Although I'm sure there are fortunes, tremendous fortunes, awaiting pioneers such as myself in this new field, I do not desire, nor do I need, to ask anyone to participate. Good day, gentlemen.
Hey! Stop that thing! Hey, rein it up! Pull up there! Stop it! We'll get the spurs out of that thing! Shut it down!
You got a problem, Chalk? I will have if this contraption gets any closer to the livery stable. I got my horse down there practically having nervous fits. As a matter of fact, we were just heading for the livery stable.
Why, yes, indeed. You see, I need a suitable building in which to store my automobile.
You mean you were actually thinking of putting this thing in the livery stable? Right in with my horse and 6 others down with the conniptions because you decided to scare the daylights out of them? Mr. Mayberry, there isn't a livery stable in this town that would take that thing.
Marshal, do you get the impression that the livery stable doesn't want my business?
I'd say so.
Well, I can't leave the car out in the street. Why, you saw the way people acted. They wanted to climb all over it.
Yes, you have a point. And as the law in this town, I suppose it's up to me to provide some sort of protection for your automobile. Mr. Mayberry will have to leave his car on the street tonight.
No skin off my teeth. I'm not going to bother. I ain't even going within 50 feet of it.
Well, I'm afraid you will get a bit closer than that, Chuck. I hate to do this, but you'll have to stand watch in this automobile tonight. And I mean a close watch.
Will, you want me to ride herd on this awful, bellowing monster?
Right.
Oh, Will.
I'm sorry you find the job of guarding the car so distasteful, Deputy, but one should never kick the wheels.
If I had my way, I'd kick the pile of iron right out of town.
What's wrong with you anyhow, Chalk? Well, man, you gotta face up to facts. It's like Ludlow here says that, well, you better get used to these things because you're liable to wind up having to drive one of your own sometime.
I'd rather break a herd of wild horses than get in the saddle of that thing. Well, they ain't safe.
Oh, I beg to differ with you, Deputy. Why, a child can drive one.
Heck, he's even teaching me how to drive it.
You mean you're learning to drive?
You bet. You know us progressive type, we gotta look to the future.
You know, as a matter of fact, Slim, I'd say you were about ready to drive the automobile by yourself.
You mean that I can take it for a spin alone?
Why not? Show your friend how easy it is.
He'll kill himself, sure.
You just watch my smoke, kid.
Can't stand the sight of blood.
Go ahead, Slim.
First, you retard the spark, and then you advance the throttle, and then you turn on the magneto, then you start it. Want to go for a ride, Chop?
No, thanks.
I've been checking back through some financial reports from the East. They tend to confirm Mayberry's conviction that huge fortunes may be made in the years ahead in the horseless carriage field.
Huge fortunes, huh?
Speculative, to be sure.
Well, big money's never made without a certain amount of risk.
True.
But this Mayberry has no right at all to leave us out in the cold.
He won't even borrow from our bank.
He won't even sell stock.
Perhaps if we put the pressure on him.
Something I can do to help you, gentlemen?
Browsing around.
I just don't understand it, Mayberry. We don't even have money for our hotel bill, and you go around grandly refusing loans from the bank.
Now, Ludlow, take it easy.
Take it easy. Don't you realize I spent 2 years and every penny I ever owned creating the Platmobile?
I also realize that you tried to interest Kansas City tycoons in backing you. Now, you're a dandy little inventor, Ludlow, but your knowledge of conning, obtaining the necessary financing, is pretty miserable.
Well, I know. That's why I was willing to go along with you, even pretending the auto belonged to you. You said it was better that way.
The only way. Why, things are working out splendidly. The suckers are beginning to bite already. Old Cooper's invited me to dinner tonight.
I wish you wouldn't talk like that. Mr. Cooper can make my dreams come true. If you don't make him lose interest.
My dear friend, didn't you say it would take $25,000 to start your factory?
Well, yes.
Then listen to me, Ludlow. Right now, I could probably get Cooper and his associates to come up with maybe $10,000, but that wouldn't be enough, would it? Now, I want to earn that 1/4 interest you promised me. Why, I'll have Cooper and that larcenous pal of his panting with eagerness if I can do things my way.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I do. Now, Ludlow, you do not catch whales with angleworms. As I said, I have a 7 o'clock dinner date with Cooper.
7, but it's almost 8.
Precisely. Good evening, Marshal.
Hello, Mr. Mayberry.
Why don't you follow him, lawman? He's as much a stranger around here as me.
I don't know that he's held up any banks, Bates. I know you have. Lots of them.
I tell you, I'm trying to go straight, but you make it a mighty unpleasant thing.
If it's too unpleasant, you can always leave town.
You're a leech, Foreman. A miserable leech. I'm going to bed in an hour. You want to come up and tuck me in?
I just might do that, Bates.
You boobs. I told you to keep away from me till we were ready to move.
Oh, no, don't worry, Bates. No one's seen us. We come up the back way.
That lawman has been hanging around my neck like a noose. If he saw me talking to you, he'd know something was up.
If we're gonna make a move, we've got to make plans.
We give the bank a good going over.
That's part of your job. If I went within a block of the place, Foreman would lock me up on suspicion. How does it look?
They're asking for it. The place is wide open. We can clean it out in 5 minutes, maybe less.
That's good as far as it goes, but that ain't the big worry.
It ain't.
It ain't. The main problem is the getaway. The marshal is watching every move I make. We'd barely have time to pull a bank job before he'd be right on our tail. And the marshal and his deputy have got the fastest horses in the territory.
I see what you mean.
We can't stay here forever waiting for Foreman to take a vacation.
I'll think of something.
But, Mr. Mayberry, we're willing to go as high as $15,000.
Yes, I know, gentlemen.
It's not merely that we're trying to horn in on the gravy train.
But no, indeed.
It's just that we want you to know that the community has faith in your magnificent plan.
Yes. Oh, have some more wine.
Oh, hi, Slim.
Hi, Connie.
Oh, Slim. Oh, I thought it was some sort of a pollywog.
These are motorist goggles, I'll have you know. Of course, I wouldn't expect you to understand about things like that, living in the past the way you do.
Well, and you're living in a fool's world, that's what. Driving around town in that stinking petrol burner telling folks that the horse is doomed.
But they are, Chalk. Why, do you realize that an automobile will take you anywhere you want to go, and it won't get tired while it's a-doing it, and you won't have to give it no rub down or no tonic, and it'll get you there a darn sight faster, too.
Well, my horse can move sideways faster than that belching beast you're talking about.
You know, Chalk, it sounds to me like you're, proposing a race, maybe?
A race?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, I wasn't exactly meaning a race.
Shoot, Connie, he ain't about to race that automobile, not with that horse of his. He's just like a whole lot of these old-timers around town, you know, just all talk.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll race you anytime. Anytime at all. As a matter of fact, how about tomorrow afternoon? Say from front of the saloon out to Johnson's flat and back again.
Well, now, I don't know about that, Chalk.
You see? I knew you'd back down. You know I'd whip the pants right off of you.
All right. You got yourself a race. Maybe I better talk to Ludlow Pratt about it first and see if I can borrow his automobile.
It's yours, sir.
It is.
I'd never have let you talk me into this. Slim doesn't know much about driving. Why, he might even wreck my car. Besides, I don't know how fast the car will go. I've never really let it out yet.
Now, take it easy, Ludlow. Luck's been with us thus far. It's a calculated risk, I know. But if he wins, we win. And then Cooper and Anderson will be more anxious than ever to put money into our factory. Remember, they've already offered us $18,000 for a share.
Well, all we can do is hope.
Well, boy, you ready to take your whooping?
Well, I was just about ready to ask you the same thing.
Yeah, I thought I smelled something. Can't you watch from someplace else?
Well, if I did that, Bates, I wouldn't be able to keep an eye on you. You know, it occurred to me that this might be a good chance for you to make a try at the bank, particularly with everybody's attention on the race.
You just won't believe I'm trying to go straight, will you?
Straight? It's my opinion, Bates, that you're so crooked that when you die, you'll have to be screwed into the ground.
Oh, funny.
I better go give the car a last check.
Too late now, Ludlow. The race is about to start.
Quiet down a little bit, please, folks. Before this epic race between that horse and this machine gets underway, I'd just like to recite a little bit of poetry that I written for the occasion.
Oh, we don't. Let's get out of the race.
There once was a feller named Chalk who made himself a lot of trouble with his talk. He'd like to retreat because he knows he's going to get beat. This here auto will win in a walk.
What you talking, Slim? You ready to race or you want to quit?
Hey, you'd like to have me do that now, wouldn't you? No, sir. You made your bed, now you're going to lie in it.
Take off the blindfold.
What's the matter, Slim?
Looks like Mayberry wasn't boasting. The automobile is superior to the horse.
There's going to be lots of money made.
Yes.
Mayberry. Just put that on my bill, Buck. The first man in the Oklahoma Territory to beat a horse with a Prattmobile.
Hey, let's cut out this doggone cheering and get to drinking, huh?
With a showing your automobile made against the fastest horse in Stillwater.
We've decided to put our cards on the table.
A man anxious to put his cards on the table generally has some up his sleeve, huh?
That's very funny, yes, indeed. But seriously, Mayberry, we're asking you again to let us in on this automotive venture.
But I've told you, gentlemen, I don't need the money.
We realize that, sir. But if you're going to grow with the community, don't you think it only fair to let the community grow with you?
You have a point there.
Yes, you must let us show that we have faith in your factory, that we share your vision of the future.
And share in the profits?
Well, naturally.
All right, gentlemen. You've won me over. You speak of faith in my project, faith in the future. Now, that sort of faith is easy to back up with mere pennies, gentlemen. I don't need the money, of course. But I'm prepared to let you buy in for a modest sum. Shall we say $25,000?
25,000?
Take it or leave it, gentlemen.
Wait! We'll take it.
You bet.
Fine. I'll expect the money to be deposited no later than tomorrow.
Well, of course. To your account or to the Prattmobile Corporation?
Oh, make it to my personal account. I'll transfer the funds later. And now, if you will excuse me, I want to check on some possible sites for my new factory. Good day, gentlemen.
Day.
Or should I say, our new factory?
Our factory.
I don't know what to say. You were right all along. To think it, at long last, my dreams are about to come true. An auto factory. My factory. We shall prosper together, my friend. Oh, it'll be a struggle, and it'll take time. But you and I will live to see the day when automobiles will be a way of life and not just a rich man's toy. The Prattmobile. Oh, you sure? I mean, Cooper won't back out. He'll put the money in the bank.
Oh, he will. Don't worry.
Well, I've never had that much money before. How is our account to read? Pratt & Mayberry or the Prattmobile Company?
Well, I'll tell you, Ludlow, it wasn't mentioned. Now, you get to work on the plans for the factory. I have to step down the street for just a minute.
I'll get right at it.
Tell me, friend, what is the schedule tomorrow for stagecoaches heading east?
Good morning, Chuck. Hey, you ain't gonna stay mad at me forever just 'cause I outrun you in that race, are you?
No, I guess not. It was a fair race, and you won it fair and square.
Hey, good morning, Chalk. Slim. Say, I'm glad you're here. I was just heading down to Connie's for early breakfast.
Well, that's where I was headed.
Shoot, why don't you go on down with him? It'll take me a while to finish polishing this thing. Nobody's gonna touch it till you get back anyhow.
Well, thanks, Slim.
Hey, bring me some coffee.
Well, at least for once I made it through breakfast without your ugly face peering at me.
Well, that's too bad. I hope it didn't spoil your appetite.
Hey, you really got him steamed, Will.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Maybe he'll get hot enough to leave town. I'd rest easier. Morning, Connie.
Good morning, boys. You're late. Bankroll Bates seemed to enjoy his breakfast for a change.
Well, I'll see if I can change that tomorrow. I think I'll take the usual.
All right. Chalk?
Oh, I'm a little off my feed. Just bring me 3 eggs and coffee, toast, hash browns, bacon, ham. Oh, and a side of applesauce.
You're, eating like a bird, Chalk.
You guys there?
We're here.
Listen, we're in luck. Foreman and that deputy is eating breakfast. That means he can't be checking on me for 15 minutes. Now's the time. You know what you have to do?
Yep.
Well, do it.
Saw you driving this critter yesterday. He was mighty impressive. Yes, sirree.
Well, thanks a lot, stranger. You know, I guess we showed the folks around this town a thing or two. They ain't gonna be laughing at automobiles no longer. Why, this thing'll outrun anything on 4 legs.
That's what we're counting on. But this range of slug makes a mighty mean hole. You better act real natural.
What do you want?
You'll find out soon enough. Right now, I'd like you to harness up this critter, or whatever it is you do to get it rolling.
Well, you're gonna steal the automobile.
You think real fast.
Yes, sir?
The name is Morgan Mayberry. I believe there's a certain amount of money deposited in my account.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, I know all about you, sir. About how you're going to build a horseless carriage factory.
Yes. The money?
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes, a deposit was made by Mr. Cooper himself to the amount of $25,000. And you're free to start drawing on that at any time, sir.
Very well, then. I shall. All of it, please.
Huh? All of it?
Do you need a hearing trumpet, my good man? I believe I said all of it.
Yes, sir, but I don't think...
Yours is not the reason why, friend. The money is in my name, is it not? And it's quite legal for me to claim it, is it not?
Yes, sir, but such a large amount.
I did not come for oratory, friend. I came for money.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Keep the motor running.
But, sir, you can't do that.
I can't. Could you give me 3 reasons?
Well, it's mine.
Correction. Was yours. Get to work.
Now, look, I'm afraid you don't realize how hard I worked to get that money.
My heart bleeds. Hurry up before somebody comes.
Sir, you still don't understand. You see, I was stealing the money.
Well, young man, let this be a lesson to you. Crime does not pay.
Why, you're a thief, too.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, indeed you are.
Gentlemen, please, allow me to join your gang. If I stay here, they'll send me to prison.
If they do, ask for cell number 56. It's the best one in the place.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
Marshal, the bank's been robbed. They made their getaway in the automobile.
No use, Chalk. They're too fast for us. Even Bill Doolin can't keep up.
I found that out yesterday.
Yeah, apparently so did Bankroll Bates.
I hope they don't hurt Slim.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Yeah, we might as well go on back and get on some telegrams. Come on, Bill.
How could you have done such a thing? You didn't believe in me at all. You were just using me all the time.
Oh, I believed in you all right, Ludlow. It was just when you mentioned that part about all that hard work that was in front of us. Well, as I always say, there's no reason to be afraid of hard work. Just ignore it.
My automobile is gone now. They'll probably wreck it.
Oh, I don't think so. My guess is that Bates will get Slim to drive him into Placerville. That's about 50 miles from here. Then they'll leave Slim in the car there, and they'll head for some hideout in the hills.
I sure hope you're right. Did you say 50 miles?
Yeah, that's the first town on that road they took. Why?
Why? Because I just remembered. I didn't fill the petrol tank yesterday. Why, there's only enough gas there for maybe 10 miles.
Come on, Chalk, we gave up too soon.
What kind of trick are you trying to pull?
Honest, fellas, I ain't pulling no trick.
You got just 2 minutes to get this beast perking again. Just 2 minutes, and you're a dead man.
Well, it's like I told you. I know how to drive this thing, but I don't know the first thing about fixing one.
2 minutes. One minute. Like I said, if this rig is no good to us, neither are you. Time is up.
then.
Why don't you get a horse?
What's that you were saying, Bates? Something about the crime doesn't pay?
Shut up.
And remember, I've got dibs on cell 56. What's up?
I hate to say this, Mayberry, but you're a free man.
I am.
Well, that is, you will be, if you'll do one or two things.
Well, you're not gonna let him go, are you? Well, he's a crook.
Oh, I guess I could keep him in jail for 2 or 3 weeks, at least until the circuit judge comes around. Now, but there's a good chance the judge might have to let him go. You see, Chalk, Mayberry withdrew money that was legally in his own account. We'd have a tough time proving fraud. On the other hand, Western towns like ours sometimes have to dispense justice without a judge.
You mean a necktie party?
No, there's no need for that. If Mayberry will do one thing.
I'll do it.
Well, sign this paper releasing your claim on the $25,000. Cooper's agreed to turn the money over to Mr. Pratt so he can go ahead with his factory.
But, Will, he ought to get 10 years for what he tried to pull.
Please, my good man, never argue with your superiors.
And I suggest you make plans, Mayberry, to get out of Stillwater. The sooner the better.
Good day, gentlemen, and goodbye. I hate to seem ungrateful for your hospitality, but I doubt very much that I shall ever be in your establishment again.
You don't suppose Cooper's really gotten up a lynching party, do you?